All right, welcome everybody to another Intent Company Live. I see live. We're in week 4 on February 8th. Wow, we're already week into February. How's that? Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for tuning into another one of these. Today, we are going to dig in on one of our tools. It's called the Customer Journey Assessment. And this tool is a great way to get a snapshot of how well you're doing at your customer journey driven marketing. And so we're going to kind of demo it, show you how it works. Give you all the insider scoop. So it's going to be really good stuff. So if you are interested in doing customer journey marketing, full path to purchase marketing, if you're trying to wonder why you're not getting enough traction, not getting enough conversions, advocacy, this is going to show you everything that you need to know. All right. So if you guys could help us out, everybody who's watching, get the word out. Really appreciate it. You click on the links, leave the comments, likes, all that stuff. Braden can help share what to do.
Hey guys, welcome back, and make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and make sure to hit that bell for notifications.
Boom, there it is. So like, share, comment, the bell, the things, all the stuff. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for doing that. Help us get the word out. Get some momentum behind these daily lives. If you're just tuning in, that's what we're doing. We're kicking inconsistency in the teeth by going live 75 days in a row. It's my way of punishing myself for not creating consistent content. You've set yourself a big challenge. And so we are wrapping up week 4. We're actually going to hit 20 days. That's crazy, huh? 20 days, I think, is going to be tomorrow. So we're 19th day. So it's zipping around. It's doing great. And we're making lots of content. So definitely recommend that if you've had problems making incremental change in your life, where you're just trying to get a little bit better, try to do a little bit more, and you keep kind of, not doing what you know you're supposed to do and not kind of pushing as hard as you should, try something crazy. Give yourself an audacious goal. And then tell everybody you're going to do it so you can't back out at least without looking like an idiot. So I leverage my desire to not look like an idiot by throwing it all out there to the world and saying, we're going to do this every day for 75 days. And we are doing it. So let's talk about a couple other things that you can help us out with. So 75 lives. We are meeting 5 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. And you can go to intentcompany.com/live to get access to kind of all the tools, the trainings, any kind of things we're mentioning. We'll have links to those on there. Our Focus and Fire workshop. So this is about 5 hours of workshop content. Like we got corresponding worksheets and all this stuff where you walk through to develop your brand positioning, your customer personas, your path to purchase. Actually, this is a really great follow-up to the tool that we're about to go over today, but we're radically discounting it. So 90% off, you can get it for only $200. We've never discounted it before. We're only going to do this during the 75 lives, and we're going to give 100% of all the proceeds that we get from the sales of these. We're going to give it to Feed the Hungry, which is an amazing program, feeds the hungry all around the world, and 95% of every dollar that they get actually goes to real meals. So it's a very efficient, excellent charity they got there. So help us feed the hungry. You can also follow us on social media. You're probably watching us right now on social media, but we're going live on all these different platforms. If you go to intentcompany.com/live, there's links there, or just go to your favorite platform and we're at Intent Company at each of those. So customer journey assessment, it's actually what we're going to talk about today. So won't go into that too much, but do check out our Intent Company group. So we have a private membership portal. You can get a free account. We're actually, I know I've been threatening for the last couple of weeks, but we're going to have an app in your favorite iPhone, iOS, and Android store where you'll have an app. You'll be able to watch free courses, tools, workshops. It's got a social community, so you can create your profile, have friends, DMs, the whole kind of thing. So check that out. So also check us out on, here, we got one more thing I think here. Our WOW campaign blueprint. So our WOW campaign blueprint is a perfect tool for those that already have customers. So if you're already doing a good job of having customers, you're already getting kind of some traction going, but you're not able to see the lifetime value that you would like to see from these customers. Okay, so you're not getting the repeat orders, you're not getting the reviews, you're not getting the referrals that you could. Why don't you just check this out? Because this tool is the perfect tool to help you understand why that's happening and to actually build an automated post-purchase system to turn your customers into raving fans. So please check that out. All right. So I think that's our announcements. Yes. Let's get started. We're going to talk about our customer journey. Yeah, we're going to talk about our customer journey assessment. And so before we get into the assessment, I think it's really important for us to take a look at the actual customer journey itself, right? So we got to remember, I know we've looked at these a few different times, but we talked about this yesterday, the importance of perspective, eyes. What are you looking at? And so it's easy as a business. We're just conscious on our stuff. We're trying to sell our product, trying to sell our service. We're doing our thing. And we don't always look at the lens of what are we doing? What are we providing? Who are we supporting through the lens of our customer, right? So it's very important to kind of think about wait a minute, what is my best customer going through to become a client and then become an advocate and all the different things. And so the first thing you got to realize is they don't even know who you are. The first step is they got to become aware that you exist. Where are they going to find you, right? Where do they find you? What kind of what places should you be? Where do they go? Your best customer, what websites are they on? What social media are they on? What kind of videos do they watch? Whatever. So you want to understand where are they in the awareness stage and help them become aware that you exist. Like, I know you. The next step is that they have to have affinity, right? They have to like you. So there's more people that know you than like you. And so there's a way that we market, there's a way we present ourselves. Like hopefully like with this, right? Like I could be running ads, drop it on landing pages, which we do stuff like that. But part of the reason why we do these videos is it's a chance for you to see our personality, right? It's a chance for you to hear our voice, hear the background behind what we do. You see, we don't take ourselves too seriously around here. And it's just, that's who we are. This is our personality. Certain organizations are going to like that. Be like, yeah, I could work with a guy like this. Certain ones are like, nah, it's not who I'm looking for. That's fine. But there's a certain group of people that know you, and there's a certain people that like you. And the next step is to bring them to a place that I believe you, right? So this is the action stage. So if you think about that, whenever you're closing a client for the first time, what they're actually saying is, I believe you to the point that I'm willing to pay you in exchange for your product and service, right? So they had to be aware that you existed. They had to generate a desire for what you had. And then that desire had to get to the point where they decided, I actually want what you have so much that I'm willing to pay you for it. And when they pay you for it, what they're basically saying is, I believe you. Most businesses stop here, but you're missing the biggest part of all of the marketing and everything we're going to talk about. You've heard me talk about this a ton, but advocacy. Advocacy is the most important part, right? I trust you. So trust is earned, right? Trust is earned. That means that they could believe you enough to buy something from you and be completely annoyed and not like what you got, not like the process, not like all the stuff, and you have a detractor after a purchase. But if you deliver the goods, if you add a lot of value, if you over deliver really on what they believed you for, then you can develop trust. And trust is so important because a customer that trusts you is going to be an army for you. They're going to participate for you, right? What are they going to do? They're going to engage with your content. They're going to leave lots of positive reviews. They're going to buy more of your stuff. So repeat business, stay with you longer, and they're going to tell other people about you, right? We like to say repeat orders, positive reviews, and generate referrals. So that's what advocates do. The other thing that's kind of cool about this, if you think about it, let me get my laser pointer out here. So when an advocate advocates for you and tells someone about you, what they're actually doing is when they tell somebody, you're actually skipping over the awareness and the affinity stage, often going directly to to action, right? Because you think about that. If somebody that you trust gives you a really good review, be like, oh, you got to go here to get this or that restaurant or this thing, whatever the case may be, you're automatically like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go for it. The barriers of do I like you, and the barriers of do I know who you are, they're gone. So they're dropping people deeper into your sales process. So it creates this flywheel effect, right? So advocates create more advocates. So when you think in the lens of the customer journey, okay, your business's growth, right? The ability for your business to grow is there's one main part of the customer journey that's the biggest issue. Like your biggest issue is either you have an awareness issue, right? Not enough people know that you exist. Or you're not helping the people that know that you exist to like you enough, right? They don't like you. They're not sure that you can deliver the goods. Or you're not helping those people who already know you and already like you to take your desired action, to buy something. Or the biggest issue is you're not turning enough of those people who have purchased into advocates, okay? Now, usually I use this content for my advocacy marketing. I'll talk a little bit more about brand advocates. But I do believe personally that if you already have customers, if you're already doing these three well, advocacy is always the first place to start. Usually you go advocacy, then awareness, then affinity, then action, okay? But advocacy, if you already have customers, is always the first place to start, right? So Peter Drucker has this great quote. It says, the purpose of a business is to create and keep a customer. I'll go through this last part here, and then we'll get into the assessment. I believe the goal of all marketing, I would say all business, should be to develop and reproduce brand advocates. Brand advocates, they buy based on value, not price. How awesome is that? Usually your best customers, the customers that get the most value, that you like the most, that even pay you the most amount of money, are the easiest to work with. And the customers that spend the least amount of money with you tend to be the hardest to work with. Why? Because they're buying based on your price, not the value, not the advocacy, right? Brand advocates also stay your customer. So retention, retention. They identify with your brand, which is really important, right? You guys know that. You're either, if you're an Apple person, you're an Apple person. You maybe buy a certain brand of sneaker all the time. There's an identification. That's my go-to brand. Well, you get to be the go-to brand for whatever you provide to your best customers. Brand advocates also tell your story, which means you need to have a story. So you already have a story. The question is, have you packaged it up? Have you shared your brand narrative? Have you talked about the unique thing that you are and why you exist and why you're here and the problems that you solve and the people that you serve, and you package it up in a really easy way for people to tell your story? And brand advocates are easily the 20% of your customers that produce 80% of your revenue. And I would suggest that a brand advocate is easily worth 30, 60, or 100 times more than the average customer. So obviously, developing, reproducing brand advocates is the goal. But that is the last stage of kind of this 4-part customer journey, right? So awareness, affinity, action, advocacy. So you might be asking yourself, I don't really know where I am in that, right? I don't know how well I'm doing at that. You could be actually getting you could have a decent customer base, even decent advocacy going on, right? But are you really expanding on all of the things that you could be doing, right? Are you doing all of the different elements that you could be doing in those to maximize it, right? So even if you're doing well, can you be doing better? Well, of course you are, right? So one of the things that we develop to help brands kind of figure out where they're at is what we call the customer journey assessment. It gives you your customer journey, your power ranking, okay? So let me pull it up. So I'm going to walk through the questions. So again, if you go to intentcompany.com/live, we'll have a link to the customer journey assessment. I'm pretty sure it's intentcompany.com/CJA. Okay. It's going to get you to the customer journey assessment. And then on this assessment, we have a series of questions. And by you selecting yes or no to these various questions, we're going to give you a report. So we're going to give you a customer report and show you how well are you doing at each of these stages. And then we're going to provide like a guide. So you're going to get a PDF, you're going to get a document, you're going to get videos, all kinds of supportive stuff, teaching you how to do customer journey marketing better. Like what are the things that you should be focusing on to do a better job of serving your best customers through the entire path to purchase and through the entire customer journey. Okay. So let's go through these questions. So have you fully identified what emotional, physical, financial, and psychological challenges your company addresses for your company, for your customers? Okay, so what this really is nobody buys what you are actually selling, right? Like nobody wants to go out of their way to buy, like I always use the example, a light bulb, right? I'm always like excited about a light bulb. What are they excited about? They're excited about light. Right? They're excited about what the light provides them. They want in certain scenarios to have illumination and have this and it can be all kinds of flavors, right? Sometimes you just want it in the kitchen, a nice bright light so you can cook dinner and see everything clearly, right? You could be in your movie theater room and you want this ambient light and this certain tone, right? So there's all kinds of different reasons. It's not so much that someone just wants a light bulb. They have there's a benefit of a benefit to everything that you provide. And if you don't actually understand what the real core problems that your products and services are solving, like the deep motivational things that what's happening, then you're going to have a hard time selling it because all you're going to do is sell light bulbs. You're just going to say, yeah, it's $6 and it lasts for 20 years and it's this color temperature and you're going to talk about features and like details about it. And that doesn't mean anything to anyone. You got to think about what are the real challenges that your company addresses? Like what are the real problems that you're solving? And go from solving those problems and then you articulate that in your marketing. So this is a really big one. So with all of these, just answer honest, yes or no. Okay. And then we're going to spit out the report for you. So have you identified this? Do you have a document where you know these core challenges that your company addresses? All right, number 2. Let's go. I got to answer this to move on. All right. Number 2, does your company employ a cold outreach strategy that involves contacting individuals, email, messaging, phone, to promote your products or services? All right, so cold outreach, right? So this is like one of the harder types of marketing, but if you can get this right, it's like printing money. It's printing money. If you can create cold outreach. So what does cold mean, right? So in your market, you either have cold market, people have no idea who you are. Think awareness, right? Warm market, people who kind of know about you, but they're not too excited about you. Sounds like the affinity stage, right? And then you have hot market, people who totally know you, totally like you. Here's the thing. You got to communicate differently to each of those groups of people based on where they're at. All right, this is a big part of customer journey marketing. Most brands just have like kind of one messaging that they say to everybody. But what if you could identify, or you knew whether I was talking to somebody who had no idea who I was, somebody who kind of knew me, and somebody who really knows me, right? Well, that's a big part. So in this particular question, it's saying, do you have a cold strategy? Do you have a mechanism, a way that you can introduce yourself to people that have no clue about who you are through some kind of like outreach? So think email, messaging, phone, DMs, things like that. So do you have that in place or not? Yes or no? So let's go. All right. Does your company offer valuable content or resources in exchange for contact information, such as an email address or a phone number? All right. So do you have content that is so valuable that people can pay for it with their contact information? Meaning they're willing to subscribe. They're willing to give you an email or a phone number. If you think about it, I have a whole other thing on micro commitments. But you're basically always asking people to buy something, to pay for something. Think about it. If you sent an email and they didn't know who you were, you're basically asking them and hopefully setting something up where they would pay 2 minutes of their time to look at your messaging. That's them paying for something, right? And then there's certain levels of content that are so valuable and presented in a way where someone would be willing to give you their contact information. These are all micro commitments. Think about it. If somebody's not willing to read your web page, they're not going to buy anything from you. If they're not willing to give you their contact information, they're definitely not going to buy anything from you. So like these things need to take place first. So does your company have something, these resources, tools, something of so much value that people are willing to exchange their contact information to get the valuable thing that you have? Yes or no? Question 4, has your business tested and proven high-performant product or service packages? So what this is kind of asking is, do you play around with your pricing model? Right? Is testing your prices, meaning, and then packages too, right? So oftentimes a company gets really set being like, well, we charge X amount of dollars per hour, or, if you get a monthly thing, it's this. But there's a lot that can happen when we play around with the package, right? Can we add other things that are valuable? Could we give a longer term, maybe with a lower price, or you prepay, it's this or that? Here's the point. Have you tested it, right? Because that's the thing is I can give you all the advice in the world. I hopefully can give you a good idea, but at the end of the day, it's the data that should dictate our decisions. So you got to be testing your product offering, meaning what do you give? What package of things do you provide, and the cost, the pricing that's aligned with those things that you offer. We got to get really good about testing those things to figure out what is the right sweet spot of service offering and cost that's going to give the most value to your customers and the most revenue for your company. So have you done that? Question 5. Does your company utilize comprehensive surveys that gather in-depth information about customer satisfaction? Okay, so are you on a regular basis and at key moments doing surveys, gathering user feedback, user-generated feedback to see how satisfied people are in the whole process? And this could be after customer support, this could be after a purchase, it could be all kinds of different moments, but you have a regular sequence, a regular way of gauging customer satisfaction. Very important thing, but answer that question, yes or no? Pardon me. Question 6, is there an automated post-purchase onboarding system in place that aims to provide a welcoming and exceptional experience for your customers? All right, so think post-purchase. So we've talked about that a lot on this, but what are you sending after someone purchases that will help them get more value from their products, their purchases, and overall just increase the value and experience they have? Do you have an actual automated system that does that? Or is it kind of haphazard, or like you give them a receipt, throw them on a newsletter, or, certain people do things. But do you have an automated system in place that gets a reliable, consistent, ongoing communication to help expand on the customer experience for your customers? Yes or no? Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, is the revenue generated by your business meeting your expectations? Probably nobody would put a 10, right? We're never quite met the expectations of what we want. But be honest here, right? You know the effort you're putting in, you know the team you got, you know all the things you're applying. Just on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied or how much are you meeting the expectations of your revenue goals? All right, question 8. Have you clearly defined the demographics and psychographics of your target customer? Okay, so this is good. So think, we talk about this idea of value and need, right? The unique value you provide to the world, the people who need it most. If you really think about business, if you get really clear about your unique value and you're hyper clear about the people who benefit most from that, marketing gets really easy. Gets really easy to connect those two dots. So when you're thinking about the people who are going to, who are going to get to have the need that matches what your value, there's really two sides to that question. One's demographics. And unfortunately, most people, when they think about creating customer avatars, demographics, things like that, they think in terms of demographics, right? Well, they're 35 to 44, they're on Instagram, they're suburban, you start to detail some of that. That is somewhat important, especially like with some advertising channels that'll help you kind of boil down who you're going after. But I would suggest that psychographics are way more important. What's a psychographic? Well, what does your best customer think about the world? What do they believe to be true about politics, about certain interests? What do they like? What are they annoyed at? What are they passionate about? What are their hobbies? What are their, interests in all kinds of different ways? You start to paint this picture for who this person is on a psychographic, emotional, desires, likes, wants, thoughts, hopes, fears. When you start to dial in those kind of things, the core motivating who they are, how they think, what they desire, marketing to them becomes way easier. It's way more important than understanding that it's a 37-year-old mom of 3 in suburbia, right? Psychographics are far more important. So do you have that clearly defined for your best customers? And typically a brand's going to have 3 to 5 different ones, 3 to 5 kind of different best clients with different sets of this data. Yes or no? Question 9, is your company actively acquiring keywords by buying keywords from Google or Bing that are relevant to the products and services your company provides, rather than just your company name? Okay, so this is saying, are you participating in purchasing traffic from search intent, right? So, people going to Google, they have a search, they're looking for something. Are you capitalizing on grabbing that traffic? Are you buying traffic that's not your brand name, right? So if you're Joe's Plumbing, you're not buying Joe's Plumbing, you're buying things like Plumbers Near South Lake, or various terms that have to do with what you offer, your products and services, but not your brand specifically. So are you currently purchasing any of those keywords? Question 10. Is your company consistently producing valuable content such as blog posts, white papers, videos, webinars, etc.? So basically, are you continually creating and distributing content of whatever medium? Podcasts, we could put all kinds of different things in there. Does your company produce consistent content? I wasn't for a long time, hence why we're creating these 75 lives. Now, every single day, I'm creating content. So this is super important. Of course, we'll give you all the details of why and in the report and all that stuff. But is your company consistently producing this content and distributing it? Yes or no? All right, question 11. Has your business developed a sales script that has proven to deliver results? That's important, both of those things. So in your sales process, you got people doing sales outreach, you got people doing inbound and so on. Do you have a sales script that's proven to deliver? Now, if you're like a solopreneur, like I was for a while, I never thought of having a sales script mattered. I never thought that was important, right? Because I'm like the guy, right? I know all the stuff. I just wing it. And even most of the time when I have a conversation, I'm winging it. But the problem is you're not replicatable. And if you're like me, we're eventually realize, I can't do everything. I need to give duties and tasks to different people to execute. Then what you start to realize is you need to delegate. You need to get this out, right? Sales scripts are super important. So like an SDR role, sales development rep, commission-only sales or salespeople you're paying by appointment, things like that. You got to have a really dialed in script. I'm going to tell you right now, this is huge, 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 huge. We've actually we've seen the impact of this in our business recently, where our first sales scripts, which were the scripts that I was making, were not working. They were not good. They were not working. And then we had a VP of sales, somebody who's got tons of experience, know what they're doing. They whip up a script, and now everything changes, right? So it's amazing the results that a tested and proven sales script can have. And again, like with anything, when we talk about testing and things like this, just write two sales scripts, make them different, and have a different kind of posture or a different kind of approach, and have your SDRs, your sales development reps, use 50-50. Maybe on one day use one, on another day use another, and see which one gets the most appointments, which one gets the most booked business, which one gets the most results. So right now, has your business developed that? Is that in place right now? A sales script that is tested and proven, and to be honest, I guess tested is not the right word, because it should be It should be continual testing, that you're continuing to see that it proves the results. So do you have that? Yes or no? Question 12. Is your business fostering a sense of community that cultivates strong connections and brand loyalty? All right. So what we're talking about here is community amongst your client base, right? So do you have systems, things in place? I think I've mentioned a couple different times on here, my chiropractor. They're fantastic. Herb Family Wellness, amazing organization, chiropractor. And one of the main reasons why I love them so much is how great they do at creating community. Right. So they're always having events, they're doing dinners, they're doing workshops, they're getting people together, and you get people, your customer base, people of like mind, people that are interested in certain things, you get them together and it creates an amazing community. And that community, like connections, brand loyalty, that stuff, I mean, one, it's just a good way to do business, right? You're treating people in a way where people like who they're hanging out with and they're connecting, but it's an amazing sticky factor for your business. There are businesses that people won't go somewhere else because they don't want to leave the community, right? So when you give somebody that compelling of a reason to continue to be your customer, even apart from the value that they're getting from the products and services you offer, you're doing a major win. Now, maybe you can't do in person, right? Maybe you can't do workshops in your office, but can you use technology, right? Can you use private social media groups, like our Intent Company group, right? That's an example of a community that we're developing so that people who are like-minded, speaking the same language, thinking customer journey, thinking brand advocacy, they can connect, they can engage together. And that's a great way to create more stickiness and create more brand loyalty. So do you have that in place? Yes or no? Question 13, is your team utilizing an automation system for most of their repeatable tasks to create efficiency? So automation. So again, I'm not suggesting that you automate the world, but you know what? There's just certain things that you do over and over and over again. Appointment reminders. We just went over this last week. I think last week, we did a 2-part series on the top 10 things to automate in your business, right? So are you automating these key aspects of your business to create efficiency, to create reliability, to take burden off of your team so they don't have to do the minutia? All of that stuff really compounds into creating more reliable results and creating a team that's less burned out, which is awesome on both sides. So do you have that in place? Yes or no? Question 14. On a scale of 1 to 10, is the profit generated from your business meeting your expectations? All right, so we talked about revenue. So the revenue meeting your expectations. How about the profit? Is the end profit coming from your business meeting your expectations on a scale of 1 to 10? What would you answer there? All right. Question 15. Does your entire staff share and embrace the company's vision and core values? This is more important than you think. Does your entire staff embrace and share the company's vision and core values? Culture is super important in an organization. Culture affects everything: your sales, your marketing, retention, all the different pieces. And the more unity that you have in your organization around where you're going, and people feel like I don't just have a job, like I'm part of a mission, I'm going after something, and the values that the company stands for are shared amongst most of the team members, you're going to create a really strong culture. And that's going to, again, affect everything. It's going to affect performance. It's going to affect efficiencies. It's going to affect the communications that your staff has with the customer base. It's all going to have a massive impact in the overall quality of your business. Plus, people are going to stay longer. They're going to want to be a part of what you're doing, and that is a huge, huge win. So do you have this where your staff shares these values? I guess you could also say, do you even have a company vision and core values? Because you need to have them before you can know if you're embracing them and bringing them together. Yesterday, I talked about the book Traction by Gino Wickman. The whole first part of the book talks about company vision and core values. So check that out. But right now, is this the case? Yes or no? Question 16. Are you currently running Facebook or Instagram ads with the goal of raising awareness about your company to new audiences? Okay, kind of similar to are you buying a certain set of keywords, but are you buying traffic on social media for people who don't already know about you? Okay, so you're doing it purely for exposure. So this could be lookalike audiences. This could be, new interest and target groups. But are you currently running ads, buying traffic on Facebook, on Instagram, with the goal of raising awareness? So, yes or no? I want to give away all of our advice that we're going to give you after you fill this out. So, I kind of hold myself back, but I will give you one little pre-teaser for a cool way to do this. We talk about our macro to micro system, where we help brands. We take a large, let's say 20 to 60 minute video, and we chop it up in a million different pieces, and we're creating reels and social media posts, boom, boom, boom. So you do that organically. You get it all out there, all that content. And then you look and see which pieces of content are ranking best organically, meaning who's clicking on the most, leaving the most comments, the most engaged. And then you use that media to promote. So you test it with your local market of what resonates the most, and then you use that, create lookalike audiences and buy traffic to then get it out to new audiences. So anyway, more details in the report after you fill this out. Question 17. Are you actively cultivating testimonies and case studies to attract new business for your company? So, are you building testimonies and case studies? This is huge. Social proof is it. The more people that you have that rave about the results. So yes, Google reviews are fantastic and the little comments and case studies. Yeah. But what about video testimonies? What about handwritten things? If you got some amazing stories, get a video camera, do an interview, record those testimonies. So that testimonial is someone who is telling you the amazing experience they had by working with you and how happy they are. A case study is where you show a before and after, right? So if you're in any kind of this, case studies are huge in the B2B world, or it's in both, right? So in the B2B world, it's more hey, said customer worked with me, they were here, we did this stuff, now they're there. A great case study in more direct to consumer stuff, let's say you're a landscaping business, right? Before and afters. Take a picture. This is what the place used to look like. We got our hands on it. Now this is what it looks like, right? So before and after case studies, all of that stuff is super important to create social proof. Totally helps conversion a ton. People love that content. Great thing to do. So are you actively getting these and developing testimonies and case studies? Yes or no? Number 18. Does your company utilize a sequence of automated emails for individuals who perform a specific action on your website? Okay, so do you have behavioral automation in place? So when somebody hits a newsletter, do you have a specific sequence for them versus when they opt in for, to review your case study or to join your community or a tool or what have you? So are you building basically pre-drip systems or pre-communication that's going to happen when people do specific actions on your website? Could be opt-ins, could be things, could be they clicked on links, could be they watched videos. You can automate so many different things, but basically it's a behavioral automation, meaning when somebody does a behavior, we then send a specific action. So our customers or our prospects do this, so we do this, right? If this, then that kind of thing. So do you have that in place? All right, question 19. Do you provide high margin products or services as upsells to your current customers? Okay, so somebody buys from you. They buy your core product. They buy your offer that you've been testing and so on. Do you have intentional, incremental, high margin upsells that you can keep adding value to? Right? So or are you just taking kind of the orders as they come in? So you got to think, if you solve someone's problem in a certain way, there's probably other problems that you can solve that you can have upsells. So was I talking to somebody recently in the HVAC industry, right? And so they're in the HVAC industry. They come in, they fix your air conditioner, they install an AC unit, they install heating, they do all that stuff. And so we were talking about maintenance packages, right? So most people don't know or don't want to go be changing the filters and looking at this and doing that. They just don't want to deal with it, right? So you could offer that as a service. So like, hey, you got this great thing. By the way, if you pay this amount of money every month, we'll come out, we'll do all of this. You'll get, expedited customer support or whatever the case may be. You create a package that's high margin. So even if it's lower cost, it can be high margin, right? It's like incremental. Another great way of doing high margin products and services. See, I'm giving away all the tactics here. Well, we'll have more on the report. But another great way to do high margin is how could you do something digital? So even if you're selling a physical product, even if you're doing a service, is there something that you could sell that would be like digital that people could pay a little bit more to get access to maybe enhance what they bought or have another thing? Because digital is no margin, right? I mean, you produce it, you can sell 1 million of them. So you got to think, what problems are you solving? How can you keep adding incremental, high margin other items to get people to adopt more of your product set and for you to serve them in a better way, and your revenues and profits go up. Question 20. Do you consistently test and compare your efforts to identify and leverage the most effective marketing strategies? And I would say any strategy, your sales, your operations, your anything. Are you split testing your efforts? So are you taking the things that you do, testing them against A versus B? So we used to do it this way. Now we're doing it this way. We used to send that email. Now we're sending this email. We used to send 3 of these. Now we're sending 4 of those. And you run these A/B tests against each other to see how you're getting better results. That worked better. Let's keep doing that. That didn't work that well. Let's not do it anymore. So do you consistently test and compare your initiatives that you're doing to see how to get in continual improvement in performance? Yes or no? Okay. Question 21. On a scale of 1 to 10, is your business achieving the desired impact you envisioned when you first started your entrepreneurial journey? You know, most entrepreneurs think really big about impact when they first start. Then you get bills and you get customers and you get employees, and it's how do I just meet payroll? How do I do this? How do I do that? But right now in your business, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the impact? Are you making? You hitting the impact? Those goals, those dreams, those thoughts that you had for your organization when you started? On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you right now? Where are you on the desired impact that you envisioned when you first started your business? All right. So question 22. What is the primary driving force behind your business? Is it serving a purpose, selling a product, or maximizing profit? Okay. So no shame. And I got this blown up a little bit, so it would be easier when you're on your screen. But there's basically, is serving a purpose your primary? Is selling your product your secondary? Is maximizing profit your tertiary? However you want to organize this. Just right now, what's the main force behind what you're doing in your business? To serve a purpose, sell a product, or maximize profit. So organize those and then hit continue. Question 23. Is your business listed on platforms like Google, Yelp, and other similar sites, making it easier for customers to find you? So Google My Business, Yelp, directory listings, the places where your customers are. Are you there, and is your data accurate and consistent? Yes or no? Question 24. Does your company regularly send informative and product-focused content in the form of email newsletters to a subscriber list that consists of both potential and existing customers? And sometimes those are 2 different lists. I have some customers that have like 3 or 4 different newsletters depending on who they're communicating to. But email is not dead. Let me tell you, email is not dead. And are you sending a newsletter that isn't just selling stuff, but it's informative? You've got products, you got information, you got all this mix up there, and you're sending this newsletter on a consistent basis out to your existing customer base and prospects. Do you regularly do that? Yes or no? Question 25. Does your company possess a well-defined sales pipeline and conversion path for acquiring new customers? Okay, So do you have a sales process? We talked about SDRs, is there a touch point that then leads to the next stage? Then you give a presentation, a demo, an offer, a proposal, or whatever. Is it ad hoc and random, or is it a consistent, detailed process? Is it a well-defined process? And do you have this for how you get somebody to be aware, make sure they like you, buy, and then even advocacy? Do you have a pipeline that's well established in place? Yes or no? Question 26. Does your company utilize an automated system to request referrals and positive reviews from satisfied customers? Okay, so are you using automation at the right time to get reviews and request referrals? Yes or no? Question 27. Is your company providing regular sales and marketing training? Okay, so you got your team, you got salespeople, you got marketing people, you got social stuff going on. Are you equipping them with ongoing training? Are you giving them tools? They have access to places to go. Are you empowering them to learn and grow and try new things? Yes or no? Is your business utilizing direct response copywriting with clear call to action elements on your website, emails, and other collateral? So not all copy is the same. This is a big mistake that we see where, you just write in a certain tone, right? Your homepage should have a different tone than sales pages, than emails when you're asking people to buy. There's persuasive copywriting. They call it direct response copywriting. Do you have direct response copywriting, persuasion-based copywriting on key places of your website, emails, other places that you're actually trying to convince someone to take your desired action? Yes or no? All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, is your business achieving the desired impact that you envisioned? I think that's actually a duplicate question. So we'll skip that one. All right. And that's it. Awesome. So you've taken the quiz, you've taken the survey. Now the last thing that we have to do is we've got a whole system. We're going to capture all this data. We got like these algorithms. We're going to run all these things, and we're going to give you a detailed report that gives you your unique number. So your unique number for your customer journey, and then we actually have a bunch of other stuff in there. So you can just kind of take a snapshot of how well you're doing at customer journey marketing and see how well you're doing at each of the 4 stages. Because you could be like, man, I need to get some new customers, and then you look at your data and you realize, wow, we're not doing any of the things that we should be doing for new client acquisition. Or, man, we just don't get a lot of repeat orders and we don't get a lot of referrals. And then you see, oh yeah, look at my advocacy thing. So we're not going to just, poke you and tell you how bad you're doing at certain things. We're actually going to give you real advice. We're going to give you tools. We're going to give you ideas. We're going to give you education. We're going to give you a bunch of stuff that you can use to deliver an amazing customer journey and see your business thrive. So head over to intentcompany.com/CJA, okay, CJA, and you'll be able to take the assessment, and we'll compile the report, we'll get it over to you, and I think you're going to find it to be a really valuable asset as you continue down your journey of delivering an amazing customer experience. So that was today. That was another Intent Company Live. We'll be with you again tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Time. Appreciate you guys, everyone watching. Leave some comments if you want us to go into any other detail, sales, marketing, life, family, faith, whatever the case may be. Leave some comments. Tell us what you want to talk about. We'll dig in. We'll go through some trainings and everything. But I just really appreciate everyone's time. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Central Time. Thank you so much. Take care.